Today we're at Calvary Cemetery in Nashville, Tennessee. And you can find the cemetery on Lebanon Pike in Nashville, of course. And we've just entered the gate, and we've been to Eddie's grave before, so we're hoping we can find it easy without having to stop at the office again. So let's take a drive and see if we can find it. Eddie Rabbitt was not only a singer but a songwriter as well, and I'll elaborate more on it when we get to the gravesite. I thought I'd give you a look at the surroundings, that if no one's in the office at the cemetery, that you may be able to find Eddie's grave on your own. You may notice this small mausoleum there that is by a big tree, and just down from it is like where the two roads separate. And this is section 22, but Eddie is buried in the section just across from section 22. So let's head on up that way. As I mentioned earlier, I had been to Eddie's grave before, and I actually did a video on it, but I was needing to re-edit it for my YouTube channel, and it was just too much trouble just to go back and re-edit it, so I decided to come back and just film it all over again and add a little bit more to what I have to say about Eddie Rabbitt. So we're going to head up the hill. You may notice the big white marker to the right. It's got like 6 small pillars in between it, and the grave to the left that has there's the one with the pillars, and then to the left there is a gravesite that has like 3 individuals that have standing stones that you may recognize right off the bat if you're looking for Eddie's grave. But Eddie's grave, I should say the family plot for Eddie Rabbitt and his family, is going to be marked by this giant cross straight ahead of us. So let's head up that way. Eddie was born to the parents May and Thomas Rabbitt, and he was born in Brooklyn, New York, but he was raised in the city of East Orange, New Jersey. Before I get into Eddie's music and career stuff that we're most acquainted with, I'll make a few other remarks about him, and that is that Eddie would drop out of high school when he was just 16 years of age. Eddie's mom once said that Eddie was never one for school. His head was just too full of music. But anyway, Eddie did go back and get a high school diploma at night school. Now let's take a closer look at Eddie Rabbitt's marker on his grave. And as you can see that Eddie's birth name was Edward Thomas Rabbitt. From looking at Eddie's marker, you can also notice that Eddie was just 56 years of age when he passed away. Well, it's real cold out today, so I'm going to go back to the car and warm up a little bit before I come back up to the gravesite and finish this video on Eddie Rabbitt. Now back to the gravesite. Eddie was hired eventually in Nashville as a staff writer for a publishing company. And it's rumored that he was only making $37.50 a week for this job. But in 1969, things would change for him when he co-wrote a song for Elvis Presley, and that song was Kentucky Rain. This song was a big success for Eddie Rabbitt in his life, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, he was a singer and a songwriter, but he first started out as a songwriter. And I'll mention a couple more songs that'll probably bring back a lot of memories to you that he wrote. He wrote the song Pure Love that Ronnie Millsap would make a hit for him, and he said it was dedicated, or I guess you'd say, or honored his wife Janine when he wrote that song. He also was a co-writer for his signature song, I guess you'd call it, the one I remember him most for, and that's I Love a Rainy Night. You may also remember that Eddie would sing the theme song to a movie that Clint Eastwood was in. The name of the movie was the same as the song, Every Which Way But Loose. Of course, the movie Every Which Way But Loose was a big hit for Clint Eastwood. I wanted to show you something that's been left on Eddie's marker here today, and that's a cross that has a little dove on it. And I'm going to give you a few minutes pause time to look at Eddie's marker and maybe see the big cross again. It marks the family plot, and give you just a few seconds maybe to reflect on a song or two that Eddie either sang or wrote. And then we're going to take a look at a few of the family members that are buried in this same family plot as Eddie. Eddie would take a break from the music world for a while as he was going through a grieving time, and that is going to be the next marker telling the story about that. That is his son at the age of 2, Timothy Edward Rabbitt, that he called Timmy, would pass away. Timmy was born with an illness that would require a liver transplant if he was to survive. They signed for him to have the liver transplant operation, but unfortunately, Timmy did not make it through it. Now we're going to head on down one row below Eddie's and Timmy's grave to some more family members. That is going to be of his mom, dad, and a brother. So let's start at the end looking at the one that's dedicated to his mom. Now we'll take a walk around to the front part of the marker so we can see the writing on it. And it says on there, May Joyce Rabbitt. And when I was doing research on Eddie before making this video, I read somewhere that she went by the name of Joyce, and also that she may have been a singer, but don't know that for sure. But I will make a comment that it does say on there that she was born in Ireland, and so she was got the clover and the little cross that is also on her marker. Next, we're going to go to the grave next to Eddie's mom, and that is going to be of his brother, John J. Rabbitt. And as you can see from this marker, John served in the United States Navy during the Vietnam conflict years. On the other side of Eddie's brother is buried his father, and that's going to be the last gravesite that we'll be looking at today in the cemetery. And that is of Thomas Michael Rabbitt. Thomas was also born in Ireland, and he was an accomplished fiddle player as well as an accordion player. And I'll give you enough time to kind of read what's on the marker itself. I can't close out a video on a country music star without mentioning some of their awards and honors they have received. Eddie Rabbitt would win in 1979 the Music City News Award as Country Songwriter of the Year. He would also win the Academy of Country Music Award as Top New Male Vocalist and their Poets Award, which is given to a songwriter who has made exceptional and long-lasting contributions through their music and lyrics. He's also been inducted into the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame. I want to thank you for watching my video today. I hope you'll consider giving me a thumbs up and even subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. As always, I wish you a good day. And as we drive out of the cemetery, I will mention we're going in the lower road instead of the straight up the hill road that we entered in. And if you're coming to find Eddie Rabbitt's gravesite, you need to take the right-hand turn or the lower road. as that's the one that's closest to his grave. So thanks again for watching.